Hi everybody, in this video, let's look at your Form 4 Modern Math textbook, page 23, Self Practice 1.1. This is questions for chapter 1. Now, let's look at question number 1. Determine the root of each of the following quadratic equation using the factorization method. What does this mean by determine the root of this quadratic equation? The root means that the value of x, when you plug in here, the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side. Okay, so in this situation, the right hand side is equal to 0. That means when you use the particular value of x, you plug in here and here, you press your calculator, you should be able to get 0. Okay, how do we find that particular values? Now, here I'm going to show you part B, C, F, and also G, H, I. Okay, let me show you part B first. Let me show you part C. If you know how to solve the part C, I think it should be no problem to solve part B. Okay, now we need to use factorization method. 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. So normally, to solve a quadratic equation, first thing we need to write the quadratic equation in general form. Means that ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, this is the first step. And then we are going to use the factorization method equal to 0. So now we are going to use the zero product properties to help us to get the answer. For example, now let's say x minus 3, x plus 4, for example, equal to 0. Two numbers multiplied together to get 0. We know that one of them must be equal to 0 or both of them equal to 0, right? If this is not 0, this is not 0, they multiply together, they will never ever get 0. Okay? Now, so this is a way how we solve the quadratic equation using factorization method. Now, how do we do the factorization here? I think this one you did a lot in your Form 2, right? Okay, so you can use your calculator or do it manually. So I'm going to fill in 6 terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These two terms multiplied together must give me 3x squared. So the x squared need to be separated. You cannot say like 3x squared minus times 1 is incorrect. So here I'm going to use 3x times x, right? These two multiplied together must be equal to positive 2, but normally I will just ignore about the sign first. I just focus on the 2. So this time this must be equal to 2. We only think about integer. We don't have to think like 0 0.5 times 4. No, we only consider about integer. Okay. Now, let's say if I use 2, 1. Okay. Let's check, is this combination correct? So next step, we are going to use cross multiplications. So 3x times 1, 3x, x times 2, 2x. These two add up together. This is multiply, this is multiply, this is plus. These two add up together must give us negative 5x. In order to get negative 5x, I'm going to put negative here, negative here. Negative 2x plus negative 3x is equal to negative 5x. Okay, this is correct. Now, if the front here is all positive, then it's actually very easy to determine the sign here. If this is negative, we just copy. If this is negative, we just copy. Now we need to double check again, see whether our this combination correct. 3x times x, 3x squared. Okay, correct. So negative 2 times negative 1, you will get positive 2. Correct. So next step, we just copy 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. X minus 1. X minus 1. As I told just now, I'm going to use the zero product properties to help you to solve this quadratic equation. These two numbers multiplied together give us 0. One of them must be equal to 0, right? Or both of them equal to 0. So 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So in this situation, x is equal to 1 and this x is equal to 2 over 3. So if you cannot get the 2 over 3 to one step, is you can do it, show your step clearer is okay. It won't take you a lot of time. So you can just write 3x is equal to 2 first. So negative 2 move to other side, become positive 2. And then this 3 times x, when you move the 3 over here, it will become divide. X is equal to 2 over 3. So now our answer will be 2 over 3 and 1. This means that when we plug in 2 over 3 here, we press the calculator, you will get 0. When you plug in 1 over here, you press calculator, you will get 0 as well. Now let's check. Let me just key in this expression into my calculator first. 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. Calculate. So the calculator is asking me what is the value that I want to use. Here, let me try 2 over 3. Press equal 2 times. 0. This answer is correct. Let me test 1. Okay, these are the two answers. Let's say if I want to test negative 2, for example. You see, it's not equal to 0. Okay, therefore, negative 2 is not the root of this quadratic equation. So this is the way how do we solve quadratic equation using factorization method. Okay, so let's say if you want to use your calculator to help you, sometimes maybe the number slightly bigger, it's hard for you to do it manually. You can actually use your calculator to help you. This is a way. Press the menu and search for equation here. Polynomial. Now degree is 2. The highest power of the variable here is 2, so the degree will be 2. So you will see a template over here. So I'm going to key in 3 and then negative 5, and then you can use this negative or minus sign. Both are correct. You will get the same answer. And positive 2, you don't have to press the positive sign because you see here we already have a positive sign. You just need to key in 2, press equal 2 times. Now x1 is equal to 1. Remember this number. And 2 over 3. So how do we use this to help us to write test 1? So it's actually very easy. You write 2 parentheses. After you get the answer from your calculator, you write these 2 parentheses, then equal to 0. Whenever you see a fraction, you need to leave some space in front here. So for example, this one. This is an integer, right? Not a fraction. So I just write x over here. You don't have to leave any spaces here. Okay, so if the question use p, you need to write p. If the question use y, you need to write y. So here I just write the x very close to the parentheses here. It's okay because this is an integer. And you see positive 1, I'm going to write negative 1, minus 1. Okay? Now this is a fraction, therefore I will leave some space here and I write the x over here. Why do I need to do so? So this is positive, right? I write negative. I only write 2. Where does this 3 go? The 3 I'm going to write over here. Now you see 3x minus 2, 3x minus 2, x minus 1, x minus 1. Okay, this is a way how do we use our calculator to help us to get the answer and do the factorization. Okay, next let me show you part D. Now you can directly do the factorization, but here I will encourage you to make the number become smaller first, because when the number becomes smaller, it's actually easier for you to do the factorization. Now you will notice that this term, and this term all can be divided by 2, right? Therefore, I am going to divide this whole equation by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2, you will get x squared. And 8x divided by 2, you will get 4x. And this you will get 12. Now the number becomes smaller. It's actually easier for us to do the factorization. Okay, so these two multiplied together must give us x squared. So when the front here is x squared, is actually very easy. It will be x times x, right? And these two multiplied together need to give us negative 12. I always ignore about the sign first. I just think about 12. Okay, so let's say I try 6 times 2, and then I do the cross multiplication here. So here will give me 6x, this will give me 2x. Okay, plus these two plus add up together must be equal to 4x. So here I write positive 6x, and this is negative 2x. Try to check. Positive 6x plus negative 2x, you will get positive 4x. Okay, this is correct. As I told just now, if the front here is positive, it's very easy for us to determine the sign here. This is positive, here I will just copy. This is negative, here I will just copy. Okay, let me check again whether this combination correct or not. X times x, you will get x squared, okay. Now we ignore about this one, we just focus on this one. And plus 6 times negative 2, you will get negative 12. Okay, all correct. So it means that our combination correct. So x plus 6, x minus 2, x plus 6, x minus 2. Then we are going to use zero product properties to help me continuing solving it. So x plus 6 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to 2, x is equal to negative 6. Okay, this is our answer. Now, let me show you G. Negative 3x squared minus x plus 14 is equal to 0. This time, you will see the coefficient of x squared is negative. So in this situation, I will suggest you to multiply the whole equation with negative 1 so that the coefficient of x squared is positive. If you don't want to do so, it's okay. Okay, I'm going to multiply the whole equation by negative 1 so that it becomes positive, easier for me to do the factorization. So when you multiply the whole equation by negative 1, all the sign will change. Negative will become positive, negative will become positive, positive will become negative. Okay, now we can start to do the factorization. So these two multiplied together must give us 3x squared. So I'm going to use 3x times x. So these two times together need to give us negative 14. So I just ignore about the negative first. I just think about 14. Okay, so let's try 7 times 2. This will give us 7x. This will give us 6x. Okay, so these two add up together must give us positive x. In order to get positive x, here I'm going to use plus, and here I'm going to use minus. 7x plus negative 6x will give us positive x. Okay, so here now is positive, very easy to determine the sign here. This positive here will be positive, this negative here will be negative. Let's check our combination. 3x times x, you will get 3x squared, which is correct. So positive 7 times negative 2, you get negative 14, correct? Okay, these two add up together, you get positive x. Now, this means that our combinations is correct. 3x plus 7, x minus 2. Okay, 3x plus 7 equal to 0, or x minus 2 equals 0. X is equal to 2, x is equal to negative 7 over 3. Okay, our answer is negative 7 over 3 and 2. So let's say if you feel hard for you to do the factorization manually, you actually can use your calculator to help you. Let's say you want to use a calculator to help you. So you can do it this way. -3, -1, 14 equal. So you will get 2 and -7/3. So how do we write it in this form? So as I told you just now, if you see an integer, the x, you can just write right across to the parenthesis here. If you get a fraction, leave some space. Negative, I write positive. I write 7. The 3 will go in front here. And this is positive, I'm going to write negative. You see? Okay, you will still get the correct answer. Okay, so how is this equal to this? Actually, this part, okay, let me explain this way. If you do so, you still can get the correct answer, but you need to understand this. X minus 2, 3x plus 7 is this whole thing, when you expand it, equal to this part. It's actually not. Okay, let me show you. 3x squared plus 7x minus 6x minus 14. 3x squared plus x minus 14. So this, when you expand it, is actually not equal to this. But it's okay. When you expand it, you will actually get this one. Right? But this equals 0 and this equals 0, they both are the same. They give you the same answer. So if you do so, you will still get the correct answer. Now, let me show you h. So this time you only have two parts. It's actually easier. X squared minus 5x is equal to 0. Our main goal is write two parentheses, right? And then equal to 0. This is our main goal. So here you can just factorize the x out. And then you want to get back this. Here I have to write an x and this minus. This will give you x squared. This will give you negative 5x. But here in front here we only have one x. Actually we don't have to write the parentheses. You just need to write an x. Okay, so from here x is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 5. X is equal, okay, this one, straight away we get the answer. X is equal to 0. X is equal to 5. If you want to press your calculator, you can do it this way. Here, I'm going to key in 1. If you see nothing here, it means 1. You cannot key in 0, it's just 1. And then minus 5. If you don't want to use this sign, you want to use this, okay. Both will give correct answer. And here we don't have the C, we just key in 0. Now you get 5 and 0. Okay, so how about this part I? X squared minus 4 is equal to 0. So in this situation, we have two ways to solve it. Let me show you the first one first. I hope that you still remember this formula. When you see a squared minus b squared, it's actually equal to a plus b times a minus b, right? Okay, so here I'm going to change this become 2 squared. Always remember, you can change the way of writing the number, but you cannot change the value. So I change the 4 become 2 squared, but they both have the same value. Why do I want to do so? Because I want to use this formula. Now I'm going to write two parentheses according to this formula, right? You have a squared minus b squared. You can write them in this form. So this is x plus 2. This is x minus 2. X plus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 2, x is equal to negative 2. Okay, this is one of the ways that we can solve this type of quadratic equation. Another way will be this. So I just move the negative 4 go to another side. It becomes positive 4. So now this is even power, right? Let's say for example, if this is 2, 4, 6 and so on, when we add the root, for example, let's say I give you another one. X power 4 is equal to, let's say 16. What's the value of x? Now here I'm going to use fourth root, right? But this is not all the answer. We have to write, because this is even power, when we root it, we have to use plus and minus. Okay, let me explain this way. So you can just press your calculator, fourth root of 16, you will get 2. This means that it can be positive 2 or it can be negative 2. Is this correct? Now, if positive 2, you raise this. Let me change back this one. If positive 2, you raise it to power 4, you get 16, right? So how about negative 2 raised to power 4? If you press this way, it's not correct. You won't get 16, but negative 16. You have to put a parenthesis here to tell your calculator the negative include. This negative 2 repeat 4 times. Now, you will get 16. Therefore, we actually have 2 answers over here. So same thing here. This is not power 4, but this is power 2, also even power, right? So I have to write plus minus. So you can press your calculator. Square root of 4, you get 2. So x is equal to 2 or x is equal to negative 2. We got the same answer. Okay, so in the question number 1, you will notice that all the quadratic equation already in general form. All the right hand side is already already 0, so easier for you to do the factorization. Now let's go to question number 2. You will notice that this time these all are not in general form, so we need to do one more thing. First, we want to write them in quadratic equation in general form first, and then we just continue doing it like this. Okay, let me show you B. Write each of the following quadratic equation in general form and then solve the quadratic equation. 3p times 11 minus 2p is equal to 15. So first, we need to write it in quadratic equation in general form. Okay, do the expansion. 3 times 11, you will get 33p. So 3 times negative 2, you will get negative 6. P times p, you get p squared. And copy the 15. So I'm going to rearrange all the terms, write this in general form. So negative always go together with the 6p squared. So when I want to move it, this consider one group, this consider one group, okay? And this consider one group. Now negative 6p squared, what I write in front, here you don't see any sign, it means positive. Okay, now this is positive 15, move it to another side, it becomes minus 15. Now you can start do as what you did just now. So still remember, I told you that normally I like to change the coefficient of the x squared here become positive. In this situation it's p squared, but if you don't want to change, it's okay. But personally, I like to change them become positive first before I start do the factorization. Okay, so there are 2 things I want to do here. First, I'm going to change this become positive. So, and second things, I noticed that 6, 33, and 15 all can be divided by 3, right? So when we change the number becomes smaller, it's actually easier for us to do the factorization. So here, I'm going to divide this whole equation by negative 3. So when you divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, all the sign here will totally change. But 0 will still remain 0 because 0 times a negative number or 0 divided by a negative number is 0, 0, right? So here will become positive, and 6 divided by 3, you will get 2. Positive will become negative. 33 divided by 3, you get 11. Negative become positive. 15 divided by 3, you will get 5. Now the number becomes smaller, easier for us to do the factorization. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you, or you can do it manually. 2p times p, I will get 2p squared. So these two multiplied together, I want to get 5. Okay, let me use this combination. 5 times 1. 5p, 2p. Is this combination correct? We try to think. These two add up together must give us negative 11p. Is that a way for us to make them add up together and the answer is negative 11p? Negative, 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 positive, 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 or positive, negative? There are no way, right? So from here we know that this combination is actually not correct. So I'm going to change it become 1, 5. 1, 5. So here will give me 10p, and here will give me 1p. You just need to write p. You don't have to write 1. It's okay. So now I start to think these two add up together must give us negative 11p. So here must be negative. Here must be negative, right? So negative p plus negative 10p, you will get negative 11p. Correct. As I told you just now, if the front here is positive, it's very easy for us to determine the sign here. Negative, 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 negative. Okay? So let me check this combination. 2p times p, you get 2p squared. Yes, correct. So negative 1 times negative 5, you get positive 5. Correct. So we can write them in this form, which is 2p minus 1 and p minus 5. Two p minus 1 equals 0, or p minus 5 equal to 0. Okay, p is equal to 1 over 2 and p is equal to 5. This is our answer for question B. Let me show you part C. You will see a fraction here. Now, we don't like fractions. It just makes us confused, right? When we want to do the factorization, we want to get rid of this fraction. How do we do so? I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 2, so that the 2 will disappear. You can just calculate mentally. This one times 2, what will we get? This time times 2, what will we get? If you worry that you will make mistake, you can do it this way. Okay, if you don't want to write this step, it's okay. So if you write this, so you can see clearer. It will not that easy for you to make mistake. So this you simplify it, right? You will get y squared, and this one you get 24, and this one you will get 2y. Now I'm going to rearrange all these terms in general form. So it will be 2y squared plus 2y minus 24. Okay, then we start to do the factorization. You can use your calculator to help you, or do it manually. If the number is a little bit large, so it takes you longer time to do the factorization, right? In that situation, you can just use your calculator to help you. But when the number is not that big, you can actually do it manually. So here 6, 4. 6y, this is 4y. Okay, these two add up together must give us positive 2y. Therefore, I need to write positive here, and this I'm going to write negative. So I will get positive 2y. If this is positive, I just copy the sign. If this is negative, I just copy the sign. So make sure that the front here is positive, because if the front here is negative, positive, you will get negative, right? So therefore, I always, normally for me, I will always make sure that the coefficient of the x squared here will always be positive before I start doing the factorization. So y times y, you get y squared, and these two multiplied together, you get negative 24. Is that correct? Yes, correct. All correct. So it means that this combination is correct. Y plus 6 and y minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, y plus 6 times y minus 4 is equal to 0. So according to the zero product properties, we know that one of them must be equal to 0. Y plus 6 is equal to 0, or y minus 4 is equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 6, y is equal to 4. So this is our answer for part C. Next, let me show you F. Same thing this time, we have a fraction here. As I told you just now, we don't like fraction. We will try our best to get rid of the fraction here. And this time is h here. We want to get rid of the h. Just now, I want to get rid of 2. What do? I times 2, right? So now I want to get rid of h. I'm going to multiply the whole equation by h. 2h squared. So as I told you just now, if you worry that you will make mistake, you can add this step. 2h times h plus 6 over h times h equal to 7h. You can do this step first. So if you can calculate mentally, you don't have to write this step, it is okay. So this multiplied by h, you get 6, and this you will get 7h. I'm going to rearrange all this term in general form. So 2h squared minus 7h plus 6 is equal to 0. Is that we can make the number become smaller? This can be divided by 2, this can be divided by 2, but this one cannot be divided by 2. So here we cannot make the number become smaller, so I will start do the factorization here. You can use your calculator to help you. Now I want to get 6. I'm going to write 3, let's say 3, 2. Okay, let's check. Is this combination correct? 3h, and this will be 4h. This is plus. Remember, multiply, the back here is plus. These two add up together must give us negative 7h. So here will be negative, here will be negative, negative 7h. Okay, if this is negative, copy, negative, copy. Okay, the sign here, always follow the sign at the back here, and make sure the front here is positive, okay? 2h times h will be 2h squared. Negative 3 times negative 2, you will get positive 6. Okay, all are correct. So this means that our combination are correct. 2h minus 3, h minus 2. So this will be 2h minus 3 is equal to 0, or h minus 2 is equal to 0. So h will be equal to 2h will be equal to 3, h will be equal to 3 over 2. So if you don't want to write this step from here, you can straight away go to this answer, is okay. So this is h is equal to 2. Okay, our answer is 3 over 2 and 2. Okay, I think I show you 2 more example, h and I. Let me show you h first. 2x minus 1 square is equal to 3x minus 2. I hope that you still remember this formula. A plus b square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? So you have a minus b square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay, now you can use this formula to help you to do the expansion for this one. Let me show you here. So this whole thing square, you will get 4x squared. And then negative, right? Negative. So these two multiply together and then times 2. You get 4x. And the back here always positive. Okay, so if you not really sure how to use this formula, it's okay. You can do it this way. But I will encourage you to learn this formula. You get 4x squared, negative 2x, negative 2x, positive 1. Okay, 4x squared minus 2x minus 2x, you get minus 4x. You see? You get the same answer. Okay? So the rest I just copy 3x minus 2, and then I'm going to move all the term on the right hand side to the left hand side because I want to write it in general form. So 4x squared, let me copy this whole thing first. Move this 3x over here, become minus 3x. Minus 2, move it, become positive 2. Okay, now look at like terms. Like terms, we can plus or minus. So 4x squared, I just copy. Now, you notice that when I circle together with the sign in front of it. Minus 4, minus 3, you get minus 7, right? So if you're not sure, you can press your calculator. Negative 4, you can do it this way. You get negative 7. Don't forget the x. Okay? Now, plus 1, plus 2, you get plus 3 is equal to 0. We already write them in general form. So the next step is to do the factorization. Let me use 4x times x. So if you feel a little bit hard for you to do it manually, you can just use your calculator to help you. Okay, I want to get positive 3. Okay, you just ignore about the positive, just focus on 3. And let me use 3, 3, 1. Okay, is this correct? Let's check. For 12x, and then this will give us x, right? Plus, you will notice that this combination is actually not correct because no matter you put positive, 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 negative, negative, positive, or negative, any sign here, any combination, there's no way for us to get negative 7x, right? This means that this combination is actually not correct. So I'm going to change it to just now I use 1 3, right? So I'm going to use 3 1. So here will give us 4x. This will give us 3x. So it's just a way for us to get negative 7x. Yes, negative, negative. Okay, correct. So negative, I just copy the sign here. Let's check this combination. 4x times x, 4x squared. Okay. Negative 3 times negative 1, positive 3. Yes, correct. So our combination, correct. 4x minus 3, x minus 1. Equal to 0. So we know that, let me write over here. 4x minus 3 is equal to 0. Or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So from here, x is equal to 3 over 4. If you don't want to write, if you don't want directly go to the final answer, you can write 4x is equal to 3 and then x equal to 3 over 4. If you straight away go to the answer, it's okay. X is equal to 1. Okay, our answer are 3 over 4 and 1. Let me show you the last one, I. Now, you will notice that this is not 0, right? So therefore, we need to do the expansion over here and write this quadratic equation in general form, and then we can start to do the factorization. Do the expansion here. This one you learn in form 2. I think it should be no problem, right? R squared, positive 9r, positive r, positive 9. Okay, equal to 16r. So r squared, I just copy positive 9r plus r, you get, this is 1r. So 9 plus 1, you get 10. copy the positive 9, move it over here. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, these two are like terms. We can simplify them. Positive 10 minus 16. Positive 10 minus 16, you get negative 6. Okay, now this is already in general form. We can start to do the factorization. So if the number is not that big, actually you don't need to write this one, it's okay. You can do it this way, like 3 times 3. So this time this, I will put negative so that I will get negative 3r. And then this time this, I will put negative as well. So I will get negative 3r. Add up together will be negative 6r. Negative 3 times negative 3, you get positive 9. Okay, so but if you think that this is really hard, let's do this one. R times R. Okay, 3 times 3. So this is 3r, this is 3r. In order to get negative 6r, I'm going to write negative here so that I will get negative 6r when I add these two terms together. If this is negative, here negative, that's negative, negative. This is positive, this will be positive. Okay, the sign here always follow the sign here. But before this, make sure that the front here is positive, right? So this is r squared, this is positive 9. Okay, correct. So since these two parentheses are exactly the same, we just need to write 1. R minus 3 is equal to 0, R is equal to 3. So you can press your calculator. When you press your calculator, what will happen? Before you press your calculator, key in your calculator, make sure it's already in general form. In this situation, you cannot key in. Okay. 1 minus 6 and then 9. You will notice that the calculator only gives you x. It does not show you x1 or x2 because there is only one answer here. Okay, that's all for this video. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.